So we left off in checking the LT scale. So I'm literally going to come here and just type in LT scale and try different LT scales. Maybe 0.5 looks good, maybe 0.25 looks better. Just kind of play with it and decide which one looks best. I kind of actually think 0.5 looks like the best for this one. Okay, now we're going to get a little more complicated of viewports here because we need to get in the top of the keyway and then the details for the gears so that we're actually going to draw it. So I'm going to change it now to projection. Why do I change it to projection? Because once I do that, it won't show the box. It'll still show what's inside the box, but it won't show the box itself. Layout rectangular, and I'm going to go from the corner and up pretty darn close to these teeth, like all up right in the middle of it there. Now it puts an exact copy of that, right? We don't want that. We want to see actually the inside of this. So left click to activate it, right click properties, and you'll notice the scale is actually 0.9. I don't want that. I want a scale of, I believe it's 1. And I know it looks like that's just too big, but double left click to activate, scroll wheel, and pan it till it looks like it's centered in the middle, and left click to the outside. So what we did is we've put an exploded view of the keyway in here so that we can actually see and dimension it. And let's repeat that process from the other corner over here so that we can get the teeth for the gears. So we got the keyway, now let's get the gears. Again, left click to select it. Come on. It's being picky, isn't it? Normally it is not that selective. What is your problem? Oh, goodness. Oh, I see what happened. Oops. I have activated the viewport. So now I gotta go check this one again. Go to properties and make sure it's at see, it changed that. So be careful and make sure you're keeping it at the right scale. There we go, come on. There we go, properties. And if I remember correctly, 0.5, so half for this particular part for it to show it. Double left click and, ooh, no. Double left click to the outside, make sure you have the right viewport activated when you do that. Why are you doing that? There you go. No, again. There you go. Okay, if that's going to be obnoxious that way, and it's trying to be that, I just solve that problem by deleting that viewport. And double left click, and now, see, I can pan it over. So if that happens, it's no big deal, it's just a viewport, and those are easy to put back in. Double left click to the outside, come home, I just zoomed out so I could see it better. Sometimes it does ornery things, sometimes it works exactly like it should, sometimes it doesn't. Just don't give up, keep trying, come at it from a different direction. There we go. So, oh, and that viewport will go to the outside, so I'm going to grab my node editor and pull it in. There we go. Well, not too much. There we go. Alright, now we need to dimension it. And this is just a reminder again to show you why we never dimension in model space. We do all of our dimensioning in paper space. So I'm on dimension. I'm going to do diameter, and I'm going to do it for just for an example. Look how small it is. Okay? So whatever you see it here is how it's going to show up there, and we don't want it to be that way. When we print it, it should be that 0.125 height. It should be that what we've set it. So this is why we draw here in paper space, and then we go put it into a viewport, and then we dimension in here. So let's do our dimensions real quick. We need to do angular. It's a new one for us. So you literally just grab the lines, click it with your mouse, pull your mouse out, and ta-da! There's your 45. Enter. Repeat the process because I need to show that it's 90. Pull that out also. Come on, a little bit more. There we go. I need to show diameter the little eyeballs here. Double left click on it, remember, because we need to tell how many of them there are, and there's actually a total of 4 of them that are at diameter that size, because the one at the bottom is the same. And we need to show the size of the diameter for that part of that circle. And then everything else is pretty much radiuses we need to do. Again, just going to the outside of it, making sure I put parentheses whenever there's multiple. Come on, cooperate. There we go, that looks good. Dun, 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 dun. Actually, I'm going to put that like there. Okay, I think that looks good. Oh, and I need to do the one right here, and there's nothing for me to reference to, is there? Oh goodness, what do I do? Go back to model space. We know start in arc because we know what it's supposed to be. So where we go, it'd start here, it would end here, and we know it had a radius of 11. So I type that in. Try again. Start, end, 11, enter. Why are we not drawing it? Is it turned off? No, it's not turned off. Okay, let's try from a different point then. Maybe it doesn't like that one. And I drew a really big one. Ah, I've got start, end, see, pay attention, that's why. Okay. So anytime it's doing it wrong, sometimes you may have picked the wrong arc. So pay attention. There we go. And since it's linked to the title block, it's going to be there now so that we can easily mention it. And again, don't freak out if you draw it on the wrong layer. It's just a matter of selecting it and turning it back to where it needs to go. Okay, let's look and see what else do we need. Oh, we need to know the keyway information here. So we're going to use a leader. I'm going to pick somewhere on that line, pull it to the outside, and now I'm going to type in the information. So 0.75 by 0.375, and then return keyway all caps. And this is where students freak out because it's totally wrong, and they try to go figure everything out again, and they can't figure it out, and it's blah blah blah. We have this major anyways, it's not drama, don't worry. Select the whole thing, use your mouse, or do a Control A so it's all selected. Make sure it's the 0.12 size. Go to where it says text, type in Arial, so that's Arial. Go to layer, tell it as layer. Go to justification, we want it to be middle center. Once you got it like it needs to, close your text editor, and it's done. So don't panic on me, you can do this. The bottom, it would be linear. Up. And this is where it gets fun to do that 0.375, because you may not be able to find it right here, because if you go to the corner there, see it's not the 0.75. So we may need to go in and model space and just give us that point of reference, because we know that it's supposed to be at that 0.375. So I may temporarily place a line there just so I have it to reference to when I'm doing my dimensioning. And it rounded it up to the 0.38 because of course we're dealing with, we've told it to set to the 100ths and not 1,000ths. Once you've got it in there, just erase it. It's gone. Very good. Our last one we need to do is we need to do the same thing for linear over here. And good, we've got everything to mention. And then now you need to come in and of course change title. Problem, I believe it's 9 if I remember correctly, Sprocket. You would need to put your date the year, points, all that. Scale for this is a 1 to 4 because we had to use the 0.25. And the points for this one is 150 because it is just a wee bit more complicated than the other ones we've been drawing. And don't forget to change your name, don't forget to change the date, don't forget to change your class number, don't forget to change your teacher. Get all that, make sure that's all changed in there. Then, as always, save as. I just get into the habit of save as when you're working in any of the Autodesk projects so that you can make sure they're going to the right place. I would just always make sure save as, make sure it's going. And then file, print out a hard copy of it. Then also file, log, save as, I'm sorry, you've already saved as, log into Blackboard and set the electronic copy of it. All right, congratulations, you do the Sprocket.